So, speaking of people who are never going to have family lives, let's talk about neopronoun TikToks, which seems to be quite a large cultural thing on a platform that I wouldn't use if you paid me. I did have a TikTok account, actually. Then I realized what TikTok was, and I just uninstalled it. So, yeah, gross. Anyway, before we begin, if you want to support us, you can go to merch.lotus.com and buy one of our shirts. I'm really proud of these. They're really good. We're going to have new shirts coming soon, or probably in the new year at this point, actually, just because of the way things work. But, of course, this is a good way of supporting us, and you get our wonderful merch. So anyway, let's begin with people teaching us what neopronouns are. Who knows what neopronouns are? Well, let's be instructed.
I'm going to be teaching you how to use prince, princess pronouns in sentences. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to use shark, sharks pronouns in sentences. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to use flower, flowers pronouns in sentences. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to use wolf, wolves pronouns in sentences. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to use paint, paints pronouns in sentences. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to use cat, cats pronouns. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to use that, that's pronouns in sentences. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to use the, verb, viz pronouns. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to use thon, thons pronouns in sentences. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to use they, them pronouns in sentences. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to use shroom, shrooms pronouns.
I let that go on. I wasn't going to play that as much as that was, but I let that go on because these people are incredibly annoying.
They are, and it's boring.
It's not just boring, it's bloody ridiculous. But it's just, this is what, like, notice in every video, she's got literal clown makeup on, and she's excessively happy. You would never approach anyone, today, stop it, stop it. Just talk to me normally, for the love of God. But that's the point, isn't it? They can't talk to you normally. They have to talk to you like clowns. And I'm not even joking about the clown thing, but we'll get to that in a minute, right?
It is as if they're addressing themselves to children.
Yes.
They treat they treat their audience as children.
As we were saying in the previous one, they treat each other like children. It's this arrested development they're trapped in. But again, we have another clown that is literally wearing clown makeup to teach us about the clown words that they intend to use. Let's watch.
Welcome back, you old snack. This is part 2 of learning about Air's neopronouns. To hear about the history and origin of these neopronouns, head back to my account. Now we're going to practice. A is from Baltimore originally, then A moved to New York City for a few years. Now A lives in LA with Air 2 cats. Have you seen Air artwork yet? A loves working with pouring paints and watercolors. A has made all of these Airself. In fact, you can support Air by purchasing artwork. Head to pukalukatuka.com. A hopes this practice helps. A knows that learning new words is difficult already, let alone how hard it is to unlearn how we operate and how we think about ourselves and those around us. But A is so grateful you stayed so long to practice with Air, and A hopes you come back for more pronoun lessons with Pukalukatuka.
Notice the miming in the background as well.
I think that would make a good flight attendant. In airlines.
Yeah,
this is how they show how the seatbelt is fastened.
Yeah.
And they do all these mannerisms.
But notice the miming behind, So it is all a big performance art. While she's wearing the clown makeup, and it's like, okay, what am I... but this is weirdly influential, apparently. Apparently there are millions of views on these videos, and, who knows how many young women, notice it's all women as well, who are doing this. It's like, okay, this is not right. And as John pointed out before we started, they don't see these videos in China, right? The filter bubble that China imposes on TikTok shows a certain kind of video to Western audiences and a different kind of video to Eastern audiences. But I suppose the main crux of it from that last one is, why should I put in so much effort for people I don't really like?
I don't know. I mean, this whole thing gets to me. It seems to me that it's a power play. It's a way to
absolutely a power play. Yeah.
It's a way to put us into a permanent position of apologizing.
Yeah. Because
you can't remember that.
Yeah.
You can't remember if everyone goes around saying, well, it's not just, there aren't just two genders. There are 1,387, and all of them have different pronouns.
Imagine how small your social circle would become if you could only talk to people while remembering a certain set, not just their name, which I have enough problems with anyway, remembering people's names, not just one word for them, but like half a dozen words for each individual person. Oh God, it's deliberately designed to make things difficult for you. I'd say it's a power play.
It almost seems like a title. They are introducing a form of nobility, and they have this hierarchy.
No, that's exactly it. This is a form of title.
But it's a hierarchy where everyone is equal. But some people, of course, are more equal than others.
Well, those who have been more misgendered are probably more important in the hierarchy. Yeah. So anyway, let's watch them in action.
As I'm on the topic of neopronouns, let's use some in a sentence to show that it's absolutely possible if you do not have a good reason to not use them. Zay and I are going to Five Below later today. I hope they don't forget their wallet again. Faye went to go get a drink from the water fountain. Faye'll be back soon. Oh, that's Sarah's cat. I wonder how they got out of Siz's house again. Don't you think that Pup looks beautiful in Pup's self outfit today? Where did you hear that from? No, Bug told me Bug's self that Bug's seen it before. I just heard back from A. A felt sick this morning, so M couldn't come. Please let me know what other neopronouns you want me to use in a sentence, because I'm pretty passionate about how f***ing valid you are.
That's so cringe.
It's uber cringe, and they corrupt language, and they corrupt it in at least two ways.
Yeah.
In many ways, but two are very important. So the thing is, I've seen some people saying that I want to be called by pronouns it.
Yeah.
And this is
the final stage of dehumanization.
Yes, it's to treat human being as objects, which is the exact opposite from what morality is about, in the name of morality.
Yes. It's remarkable. I've seen the thing that really bothers me is when they say things like, well, there are black bodies that are in danger here. It's like, black bodies, well, as if they're corpses. You know, I mean, corpse is a humanizing term, so not even corpses, you know, like just the literal physical object.
And I don't understand why they have to describe them as neopronouns. We could have then post-neopronouns, meta-post-neopronouns. Why don't just call them pronouns?
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. You know, what if they're so valid, why aren't they just pronouns like the rest of them?
And this actually shows that at the bottom of this is a misunderstanding of language.
Yes. And
big
also,
time misunderstanding. It's not just misunderstanding.
And also, it just seems very narcissistic, doesn't it?
It does.
Like it's like no. You have to genuflect towards my particular feelings on this day, because of course your neopronouns could change at any time, which is just pathetic. But anyway,
they fluctuate like stocks.
Yeah. But you have to understand, right? Now you might be thinking, well, this is a new invention that these young ladies who are dressed as clowns have invented. But no, neopronouns are actually an ancient tradition in Western civilization. Let's watch.
Hello, I am Blue of Trans Education, and I'm here to talk about neopronouns. I apologize for any background noise. My brother is currently playing bass.
Of course he is.
If you've been on TikTok recently, you've probably seen a lot of discourse surrounding neopronouns. I am here to explain the history behind neopronouns and why they are used. Let's start by defining them. Neopronouns is a word used to refer to pronouns developed from the 19th century to now, although there are some, like ow and ha, that have been used since the 13th century.
Ancient tradition.
There are also noun self-pronouns, which have been debated whether or not they actually count as neopronouns. Noun self-pronouns are pronouns like rot and rot self, where they take a noun and they just make it into a pronoun. One example of how to use neopronouns would be, person is going to the store and G does not want to go by himself. An example of noun self-pronouns would be, person is going to the store and Rot does not want to go by Rot self. In part 2, we will discuss why they are used.
Confused young women. Imagine referring to yourself as Rot.
Yeah. It's like it.
Yeah. It's worse than it. At least it is quite neutral. Right, okay, well, you know, it's a cracker on the table. Okay, great. That doesn't offend me at all. But there's a rot in the office. But well, we need to get rid of that then, don't we? You know, like rot is actively negative.
We need to get rid of it.
Yeah. You know, let's return to it. It being morally neutral. But anyway, so that's the ancient tradition of neopronouns. But have you ever heard of a xenopronoun?
No.
Let's learn.
It's like
Reminder that
alien.
neopronouns are super valid, and neopronoun users are welcomed and supported on this page. We have people in our system that use neopronouns, and we also have people in our system that use xenopronouns, which are a type of neopronouns. So we are right there with you.
Great, but that didn't explain what a xenopronoun was at all. So I went to pronoun.fandom.com. which tells us what xenopronouns are. This is a pronoun wiki, apparently. Xenopronouns are a type of hypothetical neopronouns that cannot be understood by humans or expressed through human language.
Yeah, in what sort of language do they express them?
Great question. We don't know because none of them exist yet, you see.
Okay.
Theoretical examples of xenopronouns would include pronouns that involve concepts that humans don't have words for. Very useful. Pronouns whose meanings cannot be translated into any human language, even less useful, because at least in the first one we could coin a word that describe the concept that we're trying to speak about. Pronouns that include sounds that would be impossible for humans to make if spoken.
It's like physical elements that we haven't discovered yet.
It is, yeah, the end of the periodic table, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pronouns that include movements that would be impossible for humans to do, and pronouns expressed through a form of communications that humans can't use. Love it. No specific examples of xenopronouns could be provided because of their nature. It would be impossible to express through human language. For those that do use xenopronouns, how? How could they? Why is anyone taking any of this pronoun nonsense seriously? Anyway, let's...
What is a hypothetical pronoun?
That's a great question that I don't have an answer to.
And also, what if someone wants to use a neopronoun?
What, a xenopronoun, do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, well, they say...
What happens with self-identification there?
Well, actually, they do say. They've got an answer for this. Okay. For those that do use xenopronouns, for communication in human language, they may use auxiliary alternate pronouns or wish to be treated as null pronominal. I should have clicked the link on null pronominal. I don't even know what that means. In fact, John, can you quickly click the link on null pronominal? I'm curious about that. Known as non-pronomial, unpronomial, blah, 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 is the act of not using third-person pronouns of any kind. So I'm so important, you can't even refer to me in the third person, even if I'm not there. Which is when you'd normally refer to me in the third person.
Sounds bad for business.
It sounds embarrassing. If I were to be like, Callum's not here, but Callum, you'd be like, why don't you say he? Yeah. It's weird. But anyway, the point is, this is stupid, pathetic, and yet another expression of clown world, which is not a joke. Let's talk about clown self pronouns.
This is Cypress, and Clown mentioned not having people use clown or clown self pronouns for clown, and so in this situation, I would make sure that I exclusively use clown pronouns to talk about Cypress, so Cypress knows that I see clown self for who clown is, and I want clown to be hearing those pronouns more than the other ones out of my mouth.
Has there been a remake of The Exorcist that I've missed?
No, I think this is we're just in the clown world. I mean, this is literally lots of confused young women who actually look and sound like clowns. Face paint, nonsense noises, literal clowns. The only thing they're missing are the squeaky noses.
Yes, but it's interesting to view at the formulation. Cypress knows that I see clown self for who clown is. And I want clown to be hearing those pronouns more than the other ones out of my mouth. It is honestly as if there's a possession going on.
It is, yes.
Cypress is inside and she knows.
Yeah. So you're speaking...
And I'm speaking from the first and third person simultaneously.
Yeah. Speaking from her perspective through your mouth, which is weird and presumptuous, isn't it? But like I put on Twitter, I put this up on Twitter because I think this is relevant. We can get to the last one, John. If you can get that image up quickly. This person says, you don't hate pronouns, you hate the people who are using them. Well, okay, fine, that's totally true. You either respect how people are asking you to know and name them, or you don't, but stop pretending it's about language, because that's really what this is about, isn't it? This isn't really about language. What this is about them taking control of your perceptive faculties and your personal judgment. For example, if I say to John, Stelios will be here in a minute, he's got a cup of tea, that's me making a judgment about your objective physical attributes. You're a man, and therefore I'll use the pronoun he to inform John who we're talking about. But this is them saying, no, this isn't really about language. It's about making sure that you do what I say.
Exactly, but we should make it again about language, because at the end of the day, it's about self-conception. We all have a conception of ourselves, and we use language to formulate it. So we really cannot opt out of language and linguistic rules.
But also, it's about them imposing unreasonable diktats on you as well, because they say, well, look, my self-conception doesn't line up with my physical appearance. It's like, okay, but that's not my problem, frankly. Your self-conception is as a clown, and okay, maybe I'll call you a clown, but like, you're going to make up particular words for me to refer to you on your behalf.
But isn't your personal appearance part of yourself?
Well, that's the question, isn't it? And this is why I've come to the conclusion that this is essentially about trying to free the mind from the body.
Yeah. But, it's interesting because there is of course, a long intellectual history in this.
Yeah.
And
Cartesian.
many dualists, they think the soul is genderless.
Yes.
So,
well, that's
I don't know how dualism can help this cause.
Oh no, it's obvious nonsense. There are lots of good arguments against Cartesian dualism, by the way, which are often embedded in the language we use. If your soul is not part of your body, how did you identify it as your soul, for example? It's obvious nonsense, and the thing is, it requires a series of metaphysical commitments that are frankly religious in nature, and we don't have to agree with because we don't follow their religion. It's nonsense. These people are clowns. It's total cringe. Just so you know. Millions of young women are watching this. And note, it's young women doing this. For some reason, they're deeply confused.
We hope you all enjoyed that segment from the podcast of the Lotus Eaters, and we all wish you a very Merry Christmas. This year, a half-decent gift might be a £5 subscription to our website to access all the premium content we have, exclusive to our premium members, such as this episode of Josh's series, Contemplations, where he and I discussed the proposition of whether or not we are a civilization of drug addicts. If you'd like to see what the rest of Josh is putting out, you can follow him on Getter at Josh_firm. Have a very Merry Christmas. Thank you and goodbye.